Hey everybody, Kevin Crouch here, South Metro Weather. I'm here with Jordan Durham of PuroClean. You've seen his advertisements here, and I've been trying to get with you to film something to let folks know what we're doing. And obviously this season has not let me get out much.
Yes.
And so I'm really happy to be with you today and to give you a chance to kind of explain your services. We've had a lot of rain, which means we've had some flooding going on, so you've been fairly busy. There's been a lot of different things happening that are right in your wheelhouse. So I think it's timely that we have this conversation too. And we're coming up on summer, which unfortunately is a very dry season here in North Texas. And so it might be a good time to call him in once the weather kind of clears out and the kids are home from school and things kind of settle down a little bit. Obviously there's vacations and things coming up, but might be a good time if you'd explain what you're doing so that folks can get you on their, or get on your calendar rather,
yeah,
and see how you can help them out. So explain a little bit about your company and what you do.
Absolutely, yes. So we are a 24/7 property restoration company. So we cover water damage, including flooding, appliance malfunctions, things along those lines, water heater bust, and then also fire damage, so fire, smoke, odor cleanup afterwards, biohazard cleanup, crime scene cleanup, things along those lines, hoarding cases, and mold.
Awesome. Now, I had to ask, what are you seeing most commonly in this area as far as what kind of calls you're getting? I'm sure you see everything.
Yes, yes.
But what seems to be most prominent in this particular area?
Yeah, so outside of the recent flooding, right? The most prominent calls tend to be kids overflowing bathtubs and appliance malfunctions. The amount of little plastic pieces in our dishwashers and washing machines that just let loose and flood your home whenever you go on vacation or when you go off to work and you run that last load of laundry. That tends to be our biggest calls.
I can attest to that because I had a dishwasher maybe a couple of years ago that overflowed. I mean, it flooded the living room and everything. I mean, it was astounding how much water.
Yes.
Very quickly.
Yes.
And I mean, you know, I'm asleep in bed and my wife walks in and goes, "Honey, there's water in the living room." And at first my brain didn't quite understand what was going on, and then I thought, whatever's going on, this is not good.
Yeah.
And turned out that, yeah, there was just a part on the washing machine that went out. It had to replace that, a pump, and it just let it flow. And apparently it was early in that cycle, so every bit of water it was going to use to clean those dishes was on my floor.
Yes.
Fortunately, it was hardwood floor, so it wasn't as laborious, you know, as carpet or anything like that. So, so if someone experiences these issues, what's the process? I just give you a call and go from there?
Yeah, give us a call. We're here 24/7, Christmas, Easter, you name it, we're here. Give us a call. We'll come out. We'll document the scene. We will work with you and your insurance to help get that covered. A lot of times we are seeing right now because deductibles unfortunately are going where they're going. We are seeing a lot of water cases are under the deductible, which is good. One thing that we specialize in is drying in place. So we have specialized drying mats to save those hardwood floors in those types of situations. That way you don't have to get a whole remodel of your entire house just because of one little water damage.
So we were talking a little bit, and you alluded to the fact that insurance may not work the way we expect it to. And it's one of those things, I mean, I can personally say that your home insurance, when you purchase your home, you probably learn a lot about it, but after that point, you're not always intimately familiar with what your insurance covers. And I will tell you that I'm working on getting Andrea Walton to make a video like this up in Red Oak, where she can touch on this a little more. But what have you seen as far as when those expectations of what your insurance covers may not necessarily meet reality, and what kind of information could, you know, potential customers use to be better informed and better prepared?
Yeah, absolutely. So that's actually kind of how I got into this. Our house flooded. Woke up in the middle of the night, first thing in the morning, put my feet down on the carpet. It was wet. It was cold. I was like, what is going on? Went to the water heater. Well, it's not that. It's cold water. Looked outside, front yard flooded, came over. So kind of in the insurance world, restoration world, that's considered rising waters whenever it comes up over your threshold. In insurance, most homeowner policies do not cover rising waters like that. So if you live in the county or part of the city that has bar ditches still, and those rise up over and come over, or you live on a hill and we get one of those flash flood events and it just washes straight down and through your back door, usually those aren't going to be covered by your insurance policy.
Wow.
I definitely recommend talk with your homeowner policy, your insurance agent about that, and see if you have that coverage, see if that's a piece of coverage you can add.
And you mentioned, if you're in a FEMA floodplain, that may be a different story.
Yes.
So how can people check and find out if they are?
Yeah, so the FEMA floodplain, those change often. I've been in and out of it since I've lived in my house in just
Really?
5 years, yes.
Interesting.
So they can change pretty drastically. So you can go online to FEMA and find the zone maps and go from there. They have different ratings from 100-year flood zones, 500-year flood zones. But take that information. Usually if you're in a 100-year flood zone or more often and you have a mortgage, your mortgage will require you to cover additional flood insurance.
Oh, okay.
So that is another resource there through your mortgage company that they'll help double check you on that.
So we were talking about summer here, and I have to jump in with something because Jordan reminded me of a very good piece of advice, something that I often forget to do. But is a good piece of information, so go ahead and share that with us.
Yeah, absolutely. With summer coming up, we got vacation travels coming up. One piece of information I recommend is ensure you turn off your water at the curb or inside the house if you can. That'll just help in case your water heater does decide to go while you're on a cruise. You don't come home to a wet house.
Good piece of information, because there's nothing that's going to kill your vacation buzz.
Yes.
And I mean, after vacation, you're tired anyway, right? You don't want to be dealing with that.
No.
So good piece of advice. Thank you so much for plugging that in.
Absolutely, yes, sir.
It's busy weather in North Texas. You want to make sure you know what your insurance covers, and you want to make sure you have PuroClean's contact information on speed dial. It's like I tell you, Synergy Roofing says it a lot too, where they say, put our contact information in your phone.
Absolutely.
Don't wait to have to go frantically Google something. So make sure that the different resources that are out there, you have that information in your phone so you can just search it, grab it, got it, good. So go ahead and give us your contact information, how people can find you and get in touch with you.
Yeah, absolutely. Phone number is going to be 945-259-7876. That's going to be answered 24/7. And we're local here. We're in Ellis County. We service the 287 corridor basically, and then up to South Dallas area, and then Hillsboro and Corsicana area.
Perfect. Sounds like my kind of region.
Yeah, pretty much. Yes, pretty much mirror your region. Yes, sir.
Perfect. Well, thank you so much, Jordan, for
Absolutely.
talking to me. And folks, check him out. I mean, he's the real deal. I've gotten to know Jordan quite well, and we've been able to bond a little bit on this whole new business thing,
Yes.
right? And so make sure you check them out, keep their information, and stay tuned. I'll, of course, have more information from different sponsors that we have. And, of course, continuing weather coverage as well as Texas weather continues on. We're getting into summer. You're noticing that these rain events are getting fewer and farther between. Won't be long before it's hot, humid, and terrible, and we're wishing for rain, right? So stay tuned for more conversations like this from South Metro Weather, and I'll see you guys next time.
Absolutely.